be able to help anybody. Well, if you guys could believe it, we made it back. It may seem like there's a big distance between these meetings, but there's only because there's a lot of responsibility on everybody's shoulders. So to take you guys away from what you're doing will be kind of disrespectful to your own craft. And I was just really grateful that you guys could all take a second to meet up. Obviously, we got some new faces. In this case, it's Lucas. Would you like to take a second to kind of say hello to the group and kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself today, what you got going on, and maybe where we caught you? Where are you located, bro?
Yeah, so I'm in Pennsylvania, so out towards the east side of the United States. Currently, right now, I do auto cosmetic repair. I'm actually at my job right now, sitting in my car, but thankfully my job gives me a lot of free time to just kind of do whatever I want. So that's where I've been at for the last year, is just kind of riding this gig and being able to research and get my own thing going. So
that's the coolest thing one could do. And I think you're joining a group of individuals that they've been doing the exact same thing for at least 2 years. And I can speak for a few of them a lot longer than that. And, you know, to be able to all kind of come together and really share ideas is with the intention that hopefully we can kind of all come together to create a brand new timeline that allows us to be able to open the gateways of health and opportunities for others. And, you know, I think Tyler has stood for that since I met him. And so has Harley. And that's kind of how this all came to be. And so obviously, I can't thank you enough for all you've done already to be able to go ahead and network and protect us from outside. And it means a lot. That's why I had to bring you inside. And I had to make sure that we had a chance to communicate and really get to see who the face was behind the voice. So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be here.
Man, I know you guys might have some thoughts. Harley, Clint, you guys, Tyler, you guys might want to say something before I get started.
Yeah, Lucas. I used to do some vehicle detailing back in the day. So I know a thing or two about the rotary polisher. I don't know if that's what you currently do that side as well.
Yeah, we pretty much do all the cosmetics. So definitely out of left field for me, because I used to be a chef before this. So it's a total different world for me.
That's awesome.
Nice, man.
I want to become a chef when I'm in my 40s.
Nice.
How did you?
Definitely worth it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said it's definitely worth it if you can teach yourself how to cook some good food.
That's the whole point here. We have to find good mentors to teach us the right recipes, and Tyler is right there in front of me for a reason. Have you seen his plates? Have you seen the strength of his children? Holy cow, bro. If I tell you one thing is that we need to be on that recipe book.
Heck yeah, dude. It's delicious.
I love it. No, it's definitely one of those things where all of us are independently trying to pursue health in our own way. And this is why creating something the way that we are, in the sense of bringing people together first before saying what it is, you know, and so that's really what we're focusing on right now. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining the party. Obviously you got extra faces out here. And what I was saying is really, you know, as we try to expand basically, you know, the collective, we're looking for those individuals that have a mission that's bigger than money, you know, and when it comes to a mission that's bigger than money, it allows us to really fight for the same thing, which is at the end of the day, the next generation. You know, our time has come and gone, and it's really just about how do we leave this place now, because we've already been raised a certain way, and very few have found themselves into an atmosphere of either support, opportunities, or at the same time mentorship, where they could excel to the point where they either felt comfortable to speak up or not. Some of us may still be in development, but a lot of us have obviously found our own voice independently. And that means that obviously now that we can come together as a collective, we can obviously impact more lives, ripple stronger, and at the end of the day, be able to affect the lives of those that actually needed us versus those just around us. And you know, that's kind of the whole point here, that I think between the mix of what Harley and Tyler were bringing to the table from day one, and I'd like for them to kind of share it as we go along, but you'll see more of kind of what I'm talking about in this little clip that we put together for you guys, so that maybe you can kind of get a better idea of what it is that we're doing and how it is that we want to present ourselves at the moment for the public. Because as this whole thing becomes more of an ecosystem, there has to be multiple projects kind of working together to see the sustainability of the members. And it's not just open gates, everybody can come in and play around with what we are building. At this point, it's more about creating what is called a health gated community, where if individuals are able to at least prove themselves true to a certain level of discipline, let's say for 8 weeks, okay, they can come on board and they could take full advantage of what we got. Whether that's our fee-less, obviously no fees to mint NFT marketplace, where you won't have to worry about, how much it's going to cost you if you're an entrepreneur. You just got to go ahead and let your people be able to mint for the price that you want. That's going to be ideal for some people. Otherwise, we have our NFT marketplace that's going to allow you guys to connect the asset to the value. And so this is what we've been working on the background, but obviously these features take time to perfect and deploy. And so what we are focusing on primarily is being able to prove a system that can be applied immediately. And we want to prove it with specific communities that either don't know about Web 2 or Web 3 opportunities, and they just need someone to guide them through it. And so this is actually what Clint and I have been working on a little bit in South Africa. And so maybe before I show this video, Clint, would you like to tell them a little bit more about the project we're doing in Cape Town?
Yeah, no, certainly. So there's a gentleman in South Africa who runs a touring. He does tours, but he does township tours in Langa. It's one of the first Black community settlements that was established in Cape Town years back. And what he does is he gets international customers to fly down to South Africa. He gives them a tour of the local township, takes them on home-cooked meals, walking through the streets, and basically show them the culture, the lifestyle that is township living. And business is quite thriving in terms of there's lots of competition, different little hubs or businesses, entrepreneurs doing the same type of thing. And what he also does is he takes those guys or those customers as well to Robben Island. That's where President Nelson Mandela he spent his 27 years in prison. But what we are we had a chat with him today, and basically we want to integrate Web3 into his current business model. So basically his clients or his customers are already somewhat familiar with blockchain or cryptocurrency, because they're either coming from England, Italy, Germany, those countries where blockchain is currently being utilized within the youth. So what our idea is to have it integrated as a payment gateway onto his website, where customers can basically pay in cryptocurrency. And that's just another means of him having another form of extra income in the form of cryptocurrency. And there's a couple of other things that we also want to still establish. We want to go into the metaverse with that, but it's baby steps. We first need to educate this gentleman, because it's very difficult. We understand what blockchain is, but there's a vast majority of others who has no clue what it is. And they all have the perception that cryptocurrency is basically trading or it's a scam. And, so for us to educate them is basically the first step in I'd like to say maybe like gaining trust and awareness of this whole space. So that's basically what we're currently working on by me in South Africa.
Does that kind of make sense a little bit to you guys?
Yeah, I love it. I love especially that you mentioned eventually take into the metaverse. That's definitely a project where with tourism, you don't even have to leave your house and he could give you the whole experience of South Africa.
Exactly. And, Clint has really gone out of the way. He's found a couple different courses for us to be able to really take advantage of everything we've learned and bring it to the metaverse. So there is two options. Obviously, the Plum Portal decision avenue that we've taken in the past, you brought up to us about building in that direction. And then with them, we also want to give them the option to build on their own on ERC. You know, being able to build on Ethereum, their own independent metaverse, so that way they can actually deploy themselves extra sources of revenue, extra features for token holders of their own ecosystems. And so what we're essentially doing, it's a start to end point. Basically, it's a business plan created out of a decentralized exchange. This is how simple it is. When you allow individuals to develop to start with their own decentralized exchange, you give them the opportunity to create their own token, decide what tokens get to go inside of that exchange, and what currencies they can swap into for it. And so what we're essentially doing is we're making a token for this gentleman, and people will be able to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum for that token if they wanted to. And then that gentleman will start earning in Bitcoin or Ethereum in order for people in different countries to pay for access to his experience in his own tokens. The idea here is that if they go ahead and pay in his tokens, it'll be cheaper. But if they go ahead and pay in fiat, it'll be a little bit more expensive. Now, that's the incentivizing model that we're going to be using to make sure that individuals connect to Web3. It's real simple for us to give them the education. Thanks to what you've done, Harley, it immediately gives him a platform for him to go educate himself and not feel lost. What we are doing, though, is not just that. It's opening this opportunity of what you just did, Harley, for us. And this could be everybody, because we want everybody to continue to contribute their knowledge to the DAO in a way that expresses what they are learning, right? Because the only way to really go ahead and take this experience all the way is to capitalize on the experience that you're learning right now and at least document some of it and give it to somebody else so they can run with it and have their own experience. Now, this also has to be a systemized process where there has to be quality control so that it looks uniform. And as you guys can see with Harley's work, it looks pretty consistent across the board. It'll be the intro, the content, his explanation of however he perceives it to be and how he's leveraging it, his experiences. Obviously, each video is a little bit different, but it's just intro, content, outro. That's it. And if we could keep it that simple, it scales faster. And the idea here is that users will be able to go ahead and monetize that in the way, members will be able to monetize that in the sense of when we meet people like Chippa, who is the guy running the entire operation out in Cape Town, he will benefit if somebody creates something for him, right? And so somebody has to go out of the way and say, I'm willing to go ahead and work harder. Let's say Harley can go ahead or Jeremy can go ahead and create the intro video for him. Whatever he perceives the introduction could be, we could deposit 6 intro videos to this gentleman. And we could use his intro, his outro. And we create onboarding platforms in every community by the HealthBank DAO members. They earn bounties. Communities get onboarding experiences. And what we have to do now is expand to actually find individuals that speak the same language as the community. And so we have to start this on the back end because it can't be exposed to America, to England, to all these different first world countries right now. And I hate to be that guy, but guess what? They're the ones that's going to allow us to acquire the money to be able to help without concern. And so if we start testing it first and then deliver quality products later, these individuals would be more grateful, patient, and at the end of the day, will be able to give us honest feedback because here's what we're looking for. Did we increase their bottom line at the end of the month by at least 20%? And so what we have to do is take this model of onboarding businesses into Web3, not with the idea that we're their prophet or the saviors, but we just want to go ahead and do it as a business that revolutionizes businesses, right? If you can revolutionize a business from onboarding experience, from education, community value, and a cyber experience, then you're giving these individuals complete control of their data. And more importantly, you're taking out the middlemen, the banks. You give them control of their bank account. You put them in a position where they now control their own future with Bitcoin or Ethereum. And then if we want to go ahead and really integrate them into this ecosystem that we're building on XEC, that's where we have future developers coming in. And right now we're working with Quincy's team to integrate everything through what's called dApplets. And so I'm wondering, you know, it seems from what I saw with Tyler's graphic earlier, Would you want to take us through that, bro? Because it seems like you have a really good strategy, and maybe we could all learn something from what you're doing.
Yeah, so basically, like, it's just the same concept as how XDC monkeys is a fractionalized node. The context or the token itself will just be fractionalized XDC monkeys. So it's really basic, like if you know the XDC monkey setup. So basically, my idea is to have a DApp that you can put your XDC monkey in, and you can select how much of it you want to loan out. And say, let's just go with 70%. It would divide that 10,000 XDC valued C monkey into 7,000 tokens for the person getting the loan, and then 30% back to you. So you get 3,000 tokens. So you'd end up getting 30% of your rewards, and the 70% would go to everyone else who's buying those tokens. So my idea is, if you buy the token, you have to pay 1.5 the value. So it's like, so you'd pay 1.5 XDC per token, basically. So the 0.5 goes to the person who loaned the NFT, and then 1 gets locked in for when you want to sell your XDC or XDNFT, XDSM. Yeah, that one, XDSM token. So when you want to sell that one back, you get 1 XDC back out of the 1.5 you paid for it. And it would just be locked in the DApp, I would imagine. So I just came up with it. Like, it was just like a morning, like, whoo. But I think it'd work. I mean, it would basically, instead of the wallet holder being or instead of the NFT being in like the wallet holder, it'd be in the DApp's wallet. And then the wallet would get deposited from the node. And then the DApp could disperse the rewards rather than have the smart contract read additional tokens and get all complex. So it just basically it'd just be like another layer to it rather than like, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's recorded, and I'll play it back 3 times. Let me tell you that much.
The graphic makes more sense than my words.
You know what, though? And you do have permission to share screen. And this is why all beautiful plans have to start somewhere. And we're all here for a reason, because we took initiative to start whatever we saw and we felt. And, you're walking through this vision of yours in a great way, bro. And I hope it inspires you guys all, because it does me. And every day I look forward to learning more about how we're all building. And this ecosystem is exactly that. If you have a vision, can you flip it into an opportunity? And that's what this gentleman did. I mean, Tyler's killing it with this, and the entire process itself, because it's all based upon that XDSM DApp, correct?
Yeah. So
Yes,
the
sir.
DApp would replace your wallet, and then it would control all the rewards and stuff.
Exactly.
And here's my other idea is that when you say you want to have like 7,000 tokens and you want to give like some of them back, when you give some of them back, it automatically deposits to the NFT loaner's wallet. So they can go from like 3,000 to like 5,000 until they have all the tokens back. And when they have all the tokens back, they can exchange it back for their NFT. Does that make sense? Or does that sound like it's too much for deal with?
I think Jeremy and everybody else has their thing on mute. Let me see if does anybody want to take it off? Okay, I'll be the one to speak. Honestly,
I have a question.
Go ahead. There you
Sorry
go.
to interrupt you. What's up? Hey guys, sorry I've been kind of MIA, but I got my head in the sand and focused on my contribution. My question was,
Never apologize, G.
like Johnny, I think I'm gonna review this video again. Where are you gonna save the video so I can learn or better understand that diagram that he made?
This, are you talking about this diagram with the sea monkeys?
Yeah, that and the concept that you just explained.
Okay.
I-
The picture's in the Telegram group right now. I posted it there.
Cool.
But as far as like explaining it, just send me a message, dude. I can totally walk you through it all if you want.
Sweet.
Right on, dude.
Yeah, it looks really cool, man. Good job.
Without a doubt, bro. And you sound like you're really speaking not only from passion, and more importantly, you're going through the steps to make sure others can see what your mind sees. So no matter how long it takes for us to understand it, don't worry about it. We're all excited to go ahead and implement it. And that's the whole point here, that we're all building around each other's vision. Because thank you, Tyler. I love it, bro.
You're very welcome.
I think now that everybody has seen it, maybe now I can show them a little bit more about the video that I just put together. Did you get a chance to watch it, Tyler? I didn't get a thumbs up from you, so I didn't know.
Yeah, the one you sent Harley and I.
Yes.
Yes, good
Oh,
one.
you did reply. Thank you. Sorry about that. I just wasn't sure if I had given me permission to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So maybe I could share with you guys this much. Can you guys see the screen okay? Oh, wait. This is the one I want. Here it is. Oh, wait. You cannot minimize Zoom. Oh, sorry. You guys can see okay?
Not yet. I still see you, Johnny.
Oh, you still see me? Holy cow. It said share screen is going on. My bad. Here we go. Share screen. How about now? Tamir. Good to see that face, man. It finally popped up. I can't hear you, but I just want to say good to see you. Oh, yeah, there he is. Good to pop in, man.
I'm driving.
I appreciate you guys more
good
than
to
you
be here.
realize, hopping in there in the middle of a hectic drive. Appreciate you. I see you, Freddy. I see you, Sammy. Just wanted to say hello.
Hey everyone.
If you guys
Hi.
could, yes. Go ahead. Before I show this, Freddy, what's up, man? Talk to us a little bit. What's going on? You want to introduce yourself to the gang if it's not too dangerous?
Hey, yeah, of course. I'm on the car because this meet caught me doing some errands. So, hi everyone. My name is Freddy. I'm a software developer. I'm currently working on Web 2. Everything I've done so far is Web 2, like normal apps and web development mostly. And now I'm dipping my toes into Web 3, and I've been very excited about all the ideas I've heard from Johnny and everyone, and eager to start this journey and push forward for all these ideas that I'm hearing today.
No, thank you for joining us, Freddie. Really grateful you could be here. Does anybody have any questions for Freddie? Or I know it's your first time meeting him. I talked his ear off yesterday.
I just want to say welcome to our team, Freddy. Excited to work with you in the future.
Thanks. Me too. I'm excited too.
Yes, sir. And you guys, I hope you realize that the reason that we're expanding slowly is because you guys have a lot of inquiries, right? And there is a lot of strategizing that has to go behind it if we're going to work as an ecosystem, as opposed to separate projects. And so because of that specific reason, in order to be able to interact as an ecosystem where independently, I don't want to say how you guys go about your project, but this is why we had to start looking at South Africa, because they could follow the business plan better because they don't have a business plan and they need a business plan. And if they don't have a business plan, they can't move forward out of that situation. And so what we're looking to do is to help everybody generate a business plan. That is the number one goal. We have a lot of business owners here. We have a lot of business-minded gentlemen. And at the end of the day, we have to make sure that your wisdom touches the lives of others in a way where it allows them to free themselves by finding some type of confidence in their own lifestyle to be able to then be able to provide knowledge in an automated manner so that way they can create more passive income. But if we don't create automated content that allows us to scale our time and our opportunity, then we're limiting ourselves to our only just what we talk about. And how we use our time is a very, very limited resource. So I want to make sure that as a team, we help everybody else scale their time by helping them become their own business. Does that kind of make sense? It may seem obviously overwhelming in the, oh, we got to create businesses, but it's a legal protection for you, your family, and your assets, period. At the end of the day, as Tyler says, what we are teaching you is accounting tools basics. This is NFTs and tokens. That's it. They're accounting tool basics. If you learn from that mindset, you can't go wrong. To me, the day he said that, everything switched and it became so much easier to perceive the education procedures to be the following. It's accounting. Do you want to minimize your headache? But at the same time, when talking to Clint and talking to Harley, we have to create a pitch, right? Not only for the entrepreneur, which Tyler has just addressed, that's the pitch for the entrepreneur. Look, if you're meeting an entrepreneur, what is HealthBank DAO? It's a system that helps you minimize friction in your ecosystem of business. That's basically it, right? You're talking to an entrepreneur, that's what it is. But when you're talking to an artist or you're talking to somebody that's, you know, looking to go ahead and express themselves through art or any type of medium that allows them to feed their family through their talent, like photography or drawing. Well, guess what? You talk to them like an artist and you tell them, yes, we have an onboarding platform and it's called Plum Portal. And then you tell them that that is HealthBank DAO, or you tell them that Bibliomps is HealthBank DAO, or they're all the same. All of it kind of works, but you have to know who you're talking to because they do bob and interweave with each other. And nothing is going to be sustainable if these three ecosystems are not held strong. So the question really fell on us on how do we make the DAO strong on its own? To make the DAO strong on its own, it has to generate its own revenue. Not only should it have investments, but it should generate its own revenue. And I know we haven't really all had a chance to really discuss on all the intricacies. As you can see with Tyler, he would present something to you guys like I've done in the past. And for us, it's so clear. Now what we have to do is walk it out and simplify it for you guys, because guess what? As a team, that's the only feedback I'll trust from my team, because it's not criticism, it's feedback. And for me, that was one of the hardest layers to let go of, that I was working to keep this identity. I don't have a fucking identity. I'm here to do something. I'm here to do something. And if you guys agree on what we're doing, it's basically helping others. That's it. Helping others find their voice. That's it. And if you guys could figure out that that's the real essence of what we're doing, then we'll act collectively to do that in our own way, whether it's code, whether it's art, whether it's being a manager of the communities that we create, because sometimes as we keep expanding, there has to be one manager to kind of oversee these positions before we lose track of anybody's voice. And so this is really what it's all about, that we have to think ahead of the automation process instead of just launching another protocol. And if there was anything that I've learned from, you can call it Thor or Strong, is that you have two different options: quick growth, slow and steady. You could be the Thor, where you just open your gates, be the, I hate to use this word, be open to all and kind of like open legs. Or you can go ahead and be the other one, where you know that it's slow and steady. You don't need to tell everybody everything. You need to build at your own pace. And there was these type of moderators that were spitting out everything. And community wanted to know everything, because the union of transparency, guess what? It was transparent. But in transparency, they didn't look at their tokenomics, and they didn't look at their community growth and how they could actually leverage community to create an empire that heals. And it's a difference when you think about the customer in a different way instead of an investor. And so when we're not thinking of the customer as an investor, we think of them as a person. And you realize that if they're going to be putting their money into you, is to go ahead and somehow, for some reason, improve their life, right? And so now it becomes a matter of, can we really actually help their life change in a way where they found the right mentor? Holy cow. Or maybe they found the right entry point into Web3 because it finally made sense. Everybody can explain it differently, but you can't do that unless you come to these things and ask a question. You can't do that unless you go ahead and put yourself in the position to say, hey, look, my ego, it doesn't exist. I have a question. I need to move forward. Have you guys ever been in a position where maybe you just didn't have enough money and somebody went out of the way and gave you some? You know, some of you may never have been in that situation. And that's because you choose, excuse me?
Oh, sorry, I was adding to you. I was saying definitely not me.
You've never been in a position where you had to reach out and ask for help?
No. I understood that you saying that been in a position where someone just came along and just offered you free money to help you.
And you said, no, not you?
I've never had anybody do that. Well, until I met you, right? You're gonna help me out with my notes. So that was my first time.
Our team is gonna help you out, man. And that's the thing I hope you realize, guys, that if there's to be a change, I hope, and I mean this from the heart, I hope I was the person that showed you that there is another way coming. It's just that simple. You can't be your way in the sense of what the old way has been. It has to be, even if you don't have it, you got to give it. I promise it's coming back 100x. And all it is somebody might need it 10 times more than you, and you're trying to hold on to something that you really don't need to hold on to. And that's what we're here to learn, how to let go of what these possessions are, because they do come back 100x, because the real joy is in serving those community members around you that maybe actually have dreams and they need your help to reach them. And right now is the time where all of us can actually do something for the world because they don't believe that it's possible. That's it. Everybody believes that this thing is going to shits. And I believe it's actually really improving. Does anybody kind of feel the same way, that it's going up instead of down? Just
I
point
feel
out,
like what
we're-
going up.
I think it's doing this.
You said what?
It's going both ways. Like the powers that be are going down, and the people that are like want the world better are making it better. So it's like kind of both.
I think it depends on your perspective, because it depends on how you're looking at it. Right now, we have the opportunity through destruction to create a whole new world that's going to be
Absolutely.
more, there's going to be more, people are going to be able to have more opportunities to create and build rather than the gated communities that they had in the past.
This is our opportunity to regenerate our souls back to their whole self.
Exactly.
There's nothing else to this. Just think regeneration. Regeneration, it's not your generation, but it's your soul's incarnation that needs stabilization. And you can't fight this. It's just what it is. All of us have this thing where it's like, I'm not fulfilled. I'm not fulfilled. Well, guess what? Wake up and fight for somebody else's dream. I promise you that much. Everything changes, opportunities open, and people come into your life. That's how we're here. I wouldn't have met you guys otherwise. And so what we're really doing, to go ahead and address your point, Ivan, is that we do want to just literally give gifts of joy around the world. And that could only be done if we put ourselves as men. In this case, I'm speaking of this brotherhood, which is the gift that we have been given, because right now it is a gift that has been excluded to only these gentlemen inside this group. And if they are willing to show up, show face, even just get on the call, I'm sure that all of us will be able to further ourselves or be able to ask for help should we ever need it. But this is why all of us are coming together, because at a certain point, all of us got to say, look, fighting by myself is good, but fighting with a team, that's the next level. Because all of us we're all leaders. But if we're not leading and then coming together, leading and then coming together, there's got to be this period of this to this, this to this. And all of us have seasons. Right now, I'm being led by both of these gentlemen in front of you, Harley and Tyler. They have a big mission in front of you to be able to go ahead and create what they're describing, this entire vision of a portal for you to be able to go ahead and get whatever your business needs merch-wise, NFTs-wise. And then you have another gentleman who's teaching you the way to crowdfund your dreams. I mean, are you seeing the path, or are you just not willing to ask the questions for help? Right? And so I hope that we can break away all of these things where it's like, oh, you know, my ego says that I can't ask for help. No, we want you guys, if you feel like you could need help, let us know. But here's the other question, because there's two sides to every coin. How do you think you could help? That's a question that I want you guys to watch this video, ponder on that for maybe a few minutes, and then let us know how you think you want to help before I tell you where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're really going about this thing. And hopefully that gives you guys just a chance to let us know. Maybe we're not listening to what you want to do enough. And maybe we need to work as a team better to really develop structure, as in how we're expanding, because there's 3 projects at the moment. And we just added, obviously, the 4th. And I got to tell you so much more. And I apologize that I'm going everywhere. But we have Tyler's project. We have Harley's project. And we now have Cape Town's project. Right? These are our main 3 points, because Cape Town proves what HealthBank is doing as a business model, because we have a software company that was created between Clint and I. And that software company made the DAO its 3rd partner. And so the idea here is that if we make money, the DAO makes money. And so for us to do that and feed that, it's the same business model that we did with the solar farm and our Bitcoin mining company that's coming. And so when we are doing these things, you have a DAO that's and so this is where you guys have to tell me, I think that's dangerous. I don't think that's right. Maybe we should pursue legal advice, and we can all come. This is what I expect from a group of gentlemen that maybe are concerned about what they're doing. And the reason I say that is because if you guys don't feel like what we're doing is legal to you, we should say something. If you have any questions about the legal process because you want to learn more, you should say something. All these things are really important because all of us, I'm sorry, maybe I can't speak for all of you guys because I just met a couple of new faces. Some of us have made businesses before. Some of us understand what's needed. Others are trying to just get it going. And this is why we have to bring in business mentors. And so you need to have business advice from legal advisors. We have that inside the DAO Telegram. If you guys ever have a question, there's 2 people in there that can answer them. You have John, who's building out his LLC company. And then you also have actually my brother, who's a litigator in Sacramento. And he's just over there in case you guys need personal injury consultations or any kind of accident, legality advice, he'll be there. And so if you guys need help, these guys are available. We're all finding a way to kind of fit into the collective to help out. And really all it takes is for you guys to say, you know what, I have a question to move forward and how do I help my community better? Great. If you guys feel like you want to take on any responsibility, let me know. I'm going to play this video for you guys. Let me know if you can't hear it. Hold on. I got to play it back. I couldn't hear it myself. Oh. You guys can see? Does that give you guys a better idea of kind of where we're taking this as a collective?
Gives me chills. I love it, dude.
I think
Fire,
it's
man.
what was that, Tamir?
I said it looks fire. Honestly, I'm waiting to be able to share it.
Super clean. I love it.
I'll add it to the Telegram group right now. And I appreciate you guys. I'm trying to do my best to make sure that whatever you guys build is represented properly. And it's exactly that if we are to become, and I'll go ahead and can we go through it one more time and can I pause that for you guys each slide?
Yeah.
I think that might maybe give you guys a little bit more context. What is HealthBank DAO?
Johnny,
Yes, sir.
before y'all do this, my shift starts in about another 10 minutes, so I'm gonna have to cut short.
What a pleasure to have you, bro. Hey, have you guys ever had a chance to meet Tamir? Would you guys like to take a second to just kind of hear him out? I know Freddy, maybe you guys haven't met him before. He's our justice. He's keeping the order and the law in here. He's our judge, basically. Go ahead, Tamir. I apologize. Father law.
So, for those who don't know me, I'm Tamir. Live out here in Columbus, Ohio. Originally from Florida. Always been a health nut, but not to the point that I can't get my gut under control. So I still love to eat too much. But again, Johnny was like almost love at first sight. I fell in love with his projects, the things he do, what he believes in, and like I said, I've been trying to work that same model into my community and the people that I work out with. I just talked to another guy yesterday at the gym and kind of found him on Twitter and started sending him information. And my partner who just walked upstairs kind of gave him a glimpse of the group chat of things that we're working on. But I will be having like an update on the coins. I'm gonna do a small video once I get it. I might have my son help me because I'm not video tech, but he's gonna get me right.
You got a team should you ever need anything, bro. Your vision is one we all believe in and can't wait to go ahead and hold in our hands.
Oh yes, and I'm gonna have it ready for y'all soon.
Man, I love it, bro. Does that kind of give you guys a better idea about the man? I know he might be stepping away, but you know, he's someone I really hold dear to the heart as well, because very few people have been here from the gate. And him and, you know, Jeremy, they've been here from the gate when day one, when it was first put out to the world. Hey, look, this crazy idea, get paid to work out. What? Let's do it. You know, and it was just that, as he said, we all poured into each other, and all of a sudden it's like you find a group of men that like really inspire you to just not stop being the men that you see in front. Like all you guys, and you're all fathers, literally. I don't know about you, Freddie, and I don't know about you, Lucas. Sammy, by the way, sorry to spill the beans. If he hasn't yet, he's about to be a father. So, you know, yes. Are you there, Sammy?
Yo,
Yo.
how we doing?
What's up, Sammy?
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Going
If
good.
that's not the most kind of like intriguing voice you've heard on the radio, I don't know what is.
Hey, congratulations, Sammy. That's awesome to hear.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. It's blessings coming.
My
So,
fiance is pregnant as
good.
well.
Oh, congrats, man.
That's something I couldn't spill right there, man. It was too soon.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. You're
I was like, yo,
everyone's like family.
I could ruin one. I can't ruin two.
Mhm.
You know, it's amazing to see what you guys, and like I said, you know, that to me is a dream. And hopefully, you know, by being able to learn from you guys how you balance your life or how we move things forward or the things that I may be able to anticipate, we're all facing things. And so my goal is really, okay, how do we go ahead and unite? And the only thing that I can think of that is a universal language is health. And so when I created the idea of this, it was not HealthBank DAO. It was actually called Barcore. We were going to pay people to just do fitness, just fitness. And then people like Tyler and Harley came into the idea. And then all of a sudden we have leaders like Jeremy and Tamir coming in, and you start to realize this is not really about the workouts. It's about the soul, right? And it's like, how do I get this thing to ascend? How do I get this being to elevate their potential and actually their production, right? Because it's essentially all we're doing, increasing potential or faith in one's person's potential, and then the production increases simultaneously. And so that's all we're doing. And then we give them a gateway to a support group. And that gateway is basically restricted unless you are one of the culture. The culture is you do at least 90% of the workout, you get in. You don't do 90% of the program, you don't get in. It's just that simple. But once you're in, guess what? There's a lot of things you can take advantage of, and they're on the other side of the gate. All we're asking is, can you raise your own personal standards? So when I go through that, now obviously Tamir might have to, oh, he's out. See ya. So this says here, obviously you guys could read it. Revolution, your life will never be the same once you learn about the power of Web3. To revolutionize your income, increase your health, and improve your metabolism, we have created the world's first health-gated community. There's a lot of communities that are gated by tokens, right? So it's a token-gated community. It's just called health. You know, it's just kind of a pun on it. But if you guys get it, that's all we're doing. We're basically token gating it. We're taking that code of a token gated community ecosystem. You can't log in unless you have this. Simple. All right. And all of us could do that. And we hope to help you guys with it. It's just that because there's being so many contracts that's being written inside of that one governance contract, right? Because you have a basically an entry point contract, and then you have a DAO contract. And so the DAO and the entry point contract have to be able to work seamlessly with each other. And so it's actually the DAO contract that will be the final contract, because that's what the health token represents. DAO, health, that's the treasury, that's access. So all of us have to basically play within the DApp rules, and it can only happen once you guys enter the DApp, approve to the contract that says the quote unquote rules of it. And the rules are basically the following. If you go ahead and participate, you get 1 token. If you finish with 100%, you get 5 tokens. Simple. The goal is to get people to 200 tokens. If somebody can get to 200 tokens, oh man, they become a stakeholder, right? So you want to get to 200 health tokens. Now, how do we get to 200 health tokens? Well, this is where our decentralized exchange comes in. You see, you can't buy health, but you could purchase 1 million of our decentralized exchange tokens and stake them and start earning health. Does that make sense? This is going to help us be able to raise capital to be able to then start rewarding individuals with an asset that will not depreciate because of the production. In return, actually, we'll be rewarding individuals for investing into the early project of the DAO with health. So they're going to go, and every single day they can start earning health. I'm sorry, I think I cut you off. I heard a noise. All right. The idea being, by not selling health, by forcing individuals to support our decentralized exchange and stake their decentralized exchange tokens, we are allowing our decentralized exchange, once again, a business plan off of a decentralized exchange. This is what we're applying to the whole world. Why not be the model? And so that's what we're running. If you want to token gate your community, they have to first support the DEX. And basically the DEX means that you provide either A, you stake your tokens and you provide swapping out liquidity. And if anybody swaps out, you're rewarded the amount and then some. Pretty simple. We're going to have it in the back. We have these refill contracts have been discovered. This is the coolest thing, guys. We have been given the keys to do whatever we want. And this is why when Freddy comes on board, Clint and I are just, every day we're adding new layers of education. And now with Freddy coming on board, we're going to bring in a different level of scale. And we have many more individuals that are coming on board to be able to help us really interconnect everything. Because Sammy wants to launch his website. And I'm sure that Jeremy, once your business is ready to go, you're going to launch yours. OCL, I know what you're learning is amazing. Should you need any help, talk to us. You know, and this is the whole process that all of us need to learn how to make a website like Tyler does it on demand, right? He could do it in his sleep. Harley, do you feel that comfortable making a website yet? Like Tyler, he's just, I mean, he's a magician.
I'm learning. I'm definitely learning.
Perfect. And you know, Web 2 is definitely the first step. If you guys don't know how to make a website in the sense of no code, low code, that's the first step. Second step, go build it from scratch. Third step, don't know anything, just jump into Web 3. They'll teach you. So I recommend it for you guys. If you're like me, I didn't know shit about it. I just jumped into it because I was building no code and low code for a really long time, just selling myself meaning I was a trainer. I had to sell my brand. My brand was No Days Off. No Days Off means I have to look the part. Looking the part means getting the clients. Getting the clients means feeding myself. So the brand is the lifestyle. The lifestyle is health. Can you guys finally just live the lifestyle without having to restrict yourself to the time systems that I ran? And that's where I want to come in and help you. Because if I can teach you how to run a fitness business that only requires 4 hours of actual work, we need to talk about that. But a fitness business is not going to look proper when you're a little bit overweight. You know, I don't know how your clientele is going to be, but damn, your marketing's got to be good. And so this is what it's all about, right? Can we all come together and say, look, my business plan worked. Tyler's business plan is working. Harley's business plan is about to blow up, because if you guys saw what I saw on the back end, it's mind blowing. And this is why I'm saying these conversations are needed. But as we go ahead and once again, token gate this, it's with the intention of, that's all we're really doing. We're saying, do you support our decentralized exchange first? That's going to be our point of being able to launch all incubated projects to the world. So this BibliX or XBibbleX token, that could be hopefully brought onto that one day, and we can all put XDC and we can all add, you know, liquidity into that pool so that we can hopefully benefit from it, right? Because that's the idea here. That's how I met Harley, with the Lumen Swap platform. Sorry, Tyler, what was that?
I said, yeah. I just said, yeah.
All those experiences from Harley, this is where they come in. And it's all about that type of structure where once it's coming out, we want to make sure we put the leaders that have been in those shoes before or in the environment before, because all of us are brand new to Web3, and all we could do is try to network as fast as we can, as true as we can, so that way we can essentially filter out those that maybe are the snakes in the grass versus those that are actually here to help others move forward. Because when I say that they're snakes, I mean that they're actually saying they want to help, but they really want to profit. And if that line isn't clear to you, that's it. It's just that. I don't really look at it any other way. Like, I know the money's going to come when the value is delivered, but I can't get value if I don't plant seeds. And guess what? It has been a long planting season, but that's because we have a long fruitful season coming. And it can only happen if we all kind of decide where our dreams want us to go. And then the decentralized exchange is a place where you should know that you should be able to launch it. Well, guess what though? As you guys can see with the next slide, we're allowing users to choose what they want to do. They can either help or, you know, participate to become an athlete. The advantage here is the rewards are doubled. So if you're a coach, you get 2 coins if you do 90%, or you get 10 coins if you hit 100%. It's quite simple. All we're doing is that the vending machine contract will just displace a little bit more if you go this path. And so that's what happens. It's like create a node. Well, instead of clicking approve to create a node, it says become a coach, approve. You click that contract, it takes you through this journey. And the vending machine dispensary outcome is either A, 1 to 10, or you go ahead and help somebody 2 to 10. I'm sorry, 1 to 5 or 2 to 10. Misspoke. And the idea would be that the user chooses based upon the contract that they choose to embark on. Does that kind of make sense? Kind of how that would be out, given out? Second thing is when we come to projects like what Harley's building and Tyler are building, you know, when we mean become a partner, and as you guys can see there, it says the AntiRug insurance protocol. We were talking with Quincy about this immediately after you talked about that, because it has been one of those things where it fits very much in line with our trust line protocol. This means if a team wants to go ahead and partner with us, guess what? It's not up to me. It's up to the DAO. They must pitch. And when they pitch, the DAO will vote. Voting goes live on the 1st, by the way. 1st of the year. So we are preparing all the way through right now. Obviously, if you have received your OG VIP NFT, it's for a reason. We just needed to make sure that we could test these features and there's a big issues, as you guys could see. And there have been solutions that have been brought up to fix this. And this is all based upon the understanding of how another project launches their own project. When you guys create your own NFT marketplace, you'll have a choice. You can go ahead and create, as you guys saw from what Tyler's discussion was with the Twitter situation, XDC Rug, is that what it's called? Rug.
Yeah. All right. Rug Finder, some crazy dude.
Yeah, it's the same contract. You just have a different token number.
Yeah.
Right? It's not an issue. It's a situation.
Yeah, it just means you have to.
Go ahead, sir.
It just means you have to use like the token ID as an identifier for smart contracts instead of the actual address.
Bam. And so with all of this in mind, and you start building your own NFT marketplaces, hopefully you guys all take the shot, even if you go ahead and pull your head off or your hair off. You know, it's going to be one of those things where, Freddy, have you felt that before where you're just like, I don't understand this, I give up?
Constantly. In every digital space, you need to keep learning. And every time you face that situation where your head doesn't want to get that new concept or whatever, but it ends up entering your head. So
eventually
you have to try. You have to try.
That's it. It's better to try. It's one thing I have written here. It's known hells or unknown heavens, you know? And so we could stay in what we know that sucks, or we could pursue something unknown, as he just said, and keep pushing, because it might just lead you to paradise. That's what Web3 is. What do you think, Freddy?
Of course. It gives you a new frontier, limitless expansion. You just have to build on it and keep pushing the idea you have, like this you're talking about.
Yes, sir. I think idea number one, step number one, if anybody really wants to learn, is go look up how to connect your wallet to your website. You know, it's something really simple. Go ahead.
It's there's a lot of material about the, for example, the one I've looked up. It's Web3.js. That if you learn enough, if you know something, just a little bit about software development, with that, in a few hours you can connect your wallet to your website. You test with MetaMask. It gets easy. You get to. I've experimented to that point, so
Thank
that's
you.
one of the first steps I did. Yeah.
Yes, and all of us got to start realizing that, you know what, there's a business opportunity there. There's a lot of people that don't know how to go ahead and have a Web3 website. Well, guess what? Become that tool to make it happen. Mold yourself into that tool. Maybe you won't become the XDC network's top developer because maybe that's just not destined in your future because of your time allocation that maybe you can give to the situation because of your lifestyle. Maybe that's destined for somebody else, but you should at least try to connect the wallet. And if you could learn to connect the wallet, it might inspire you to take the next step, which is maybe just to create a DApp. And I'm just giving you ideas on how we're all going. But the idea here is that when a project is created, and this is either Bibliomps or Plum Portal or anybody, the only thing we could ask of them is that if they want to have their token in our DEX, right, which means that they have support from the complete DAO, that would be the addition of a trust line. It's 100,000 XDC that have to be deposited in case of a user or a creator of a project wants to run away. Guess what? You're not taking the 100,000 XDC with you. That's going back to the people that invested in you. And so this is the whole point here, guys. We need to prevent these situations before they happen. And we can only do it if we help projects be incubated, because as they come up through our sequence of communication and engagement into different communities that we have within the ecosystem, they'll be inspired to create their own business, definitely. But when they ask Clint, hey, can you integrate me into the DAO? Clint will say, yes, there's a few requirements. You got to go ahead and really get the KYC done. And we've actually gone out of the way to get a notary system involved so that way it could be done online. We just send you a link. You go ahead and you connect with that. You'll do a notary service call where basically somebody will book to you at your convenience. You'll go like this. You'll show them your ID. You'll show them your face, and they'll write off a paper that says this person is who they say they are, and they'll send it back to us. And if that's to be the case, guess what? Hey, I got your KYC. Now it's my responsibility along with the XDC Foundation right now to basically tokenize that and give it back to you. And so what we're trying to do is basically create profile IDs and profile DNAs for each member. And this is why we're not just launching another protocol, because there has to be this complete process of introducing our idea, onboarding the client or the customer, educating them on what it takes to actually be a sovereign being on Web3, AKA a legal business and KYC. And then if they want to become a partner of the DAO, guess what? I'm sorry, there has to be a little bit of an anti-rug insurance here to bring peace of mind to all investors that may want to get involved. This is another way to save yourself the audit, because guess what? Quincy himself is working on developing his own audit company. So when you guys are thinking, oh, I can become a developer. Yeah, run it by Quincy. Send your code to Quincy. See if he finds any gates or anything backdoor entries so that way we can say, yep, it's been validated, it's been approved. And this is what he's pursuing to become a company that can actually provide this service to others. So all we want to do is to support those that have supported us. And so we're going to go in that direction. And we want to help be the proof that our contracts can't be broken in because of him and because of his company and his network and the blockchain team that he works with. This is all the reason why I wanted to discuss this idea of a trust line. Does that seem fair to you, Harley and Tyler?
I think it's a great idea.
I agree. You definitely should have to put something up to prove that you're serious about it. It'll separate the projects that are serious and that aren't serious.
That's it, man. And that was my goal from the gate. You know, there's certain individuals that maybe 100K is out of their price range. And I understand that. I'm sure that as the price goes up, we're going to have to reduce it on a vote, right? It's a simple change of code. And guess what? Clint has the keys right now. He knows the password and he loves it. We laugh about it all the time, but we ain't going to change it. but we will give the password to those that get to the point that they can say, hey, look, here's the proof of knowledge that I was looking that was required. And so Freddy will be the first to be introduced to these proof of knowledge, because it's actually very easy to acquire through the courses you can go through. And so that's all we're doing right now. We're going to send you to different areas so that you can go ahead and get knowledgeable from these different ecosystems that have helped us determine a little bit of awareness in it. And if we're all on the same page, then we can build together. That's all it is. And so I will make sure Freddy has that. You can go at it at your own pace, Freddy. And if you like these courses and you deem them proper, we will make this available information to everybody else. So that way you are the proof of concept for what we expect developers to basically kind of go through, because these NFTs that you will earn will not be given by us. They will be given by the platforms that you have. And then all you got to do is just go ahead and show it to us. When we go ahead and do a Skype call, we'll just go in your wallet, we'll chop it up and we'll check it out. Does that seem fair?
Absolutely. That sounds very good.
Thank you, bro. Because so another news that we have to share with you guys, and if it's okay with you guys, I have given myself 2 hours to talk your ears off or answer questions. The reason is I have a call right now with the solar farm after this. And as we continue to move forward with these situations, the solar farm has given us the opportunity to really become a different level of enterprise. What I mean by this is that we are not necessarily just doing this to be another Web3 project, but we are doing this to really give opportunities to the people that maybe weren't available before. And one of the things that we're doing is to essentially move everything forward is we have to guarantee that all the members of the DAO, if possible, one of the requirements that I want for everybody before they become a partner is that they go through the Propi course. You guys need to understand how important this is. It's called Legal Information About Tokenization on the Blockchain. If you don't have legal education of tokenization on the blockchain, you're gonna feel like I'm talking circles around you. STOs, ICOs are points of discussions. Why do you think we haven't sold anything? Because I will not go ahead and really try to put myself in the position, number one, of putting everything at risk, because STOs and ICOs have a clear line of difference. And if we don't play by those rules, we're going to be screwed. And especially when you're talking about a gold-backed token. So for me right now, the solar farm plays a big role. And what is going on is, Freddy, I don't know if you know this, but Amin helped us communicate with the Hyperledger Foundation. What he did, he didn't tell you?
No.
Okay. I told Jeremy the secret. I apologize to spill it out to him, but we closed a deal for what it seems like right now. I have another call that we have to do this coming week, and then another for about 40 million. And what's going on is that we are going to be able to go ahead and move forward to purchase the land from which the solar farm will be built on. The DAO is the business partner that acquired the wealth. So therefore, the DAO has a seat on these businesses. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't me. It was the DAO. I just happen to look like the DAO whenever the DAO can't be present. But it's only because I have all you guys' interest in mind as much as possible. I'm trying my best to keep everybody's interest in mind. And it's one of those things where these 40 million will go to two things. If one of two things happens. And so this is kind of why I just want to let you guys know that this conversation that I'm having afterwards, it's really important whether you guys agree that we should pursue being partial owners of a solar farm or not, and partial owners of a Bitcoin mining company or not. Can I leave it up to you guys to discuss real quick? Any questions or whatever? I'll try to do my best to help answer.
Do we have to make a decision on that now? Or can we?
The decision would only be if you feel completely against it, that you feel like this would completely put you in an uncomfortable situation.
Ah, it's a no-brainer for me, man.
I agree with
I-
Lynn. It only makes
It's,
sense.
it only makes sense. You have energy, which is the big problem with Bitcoin, and you get it for free, basically. So
About 2 cents.
yeah,
Do we have a
wherever you, yeah.
What's that?
Run.
Like, oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Tyler.
So say there is a chance that Bitcoin, like, you know, the conspiracy theories that it might be like totally taken out. Is there a plan B if something like that were to happen, like worst case scenario, like for the Bitcoin mining aspect? Like, is there something we could replace it with?
We have 3 plans of income. It's called a blockchain infrastructure company. We're mining Bitcoin and bridging Elrond. We're mining Ethereum and we're getting 5 masternodes for XDC. So
I just meant specifically with the Bitcoin itself,
but
or the
that's the
Ethereum,
thing.
I guess, for the
That's
matter.
the thing. Bitcoin miners also bridge mine Elrond. And these, if you saw the latest article today on or Panama yesterday,
Yeah.
guess what? It's on the list. So, guess what? Bitcoin's on the list. XDC's on the list. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And so,
I just always like thinking outside.
well, here's a better one for you. It might bring you confidence. We also found a partner who might want to go ahead and open up with us, and they own a 85 megawatt facility that is wind powered. So it's wind turbines. And so they want to come in and partner up as another partner of this Bitcoin mining thing in order to be able to provide the service for people like ourselves to be able to own a fraction of a Bitcoin miner or a fraction of an Ethereum miner. So exactly what Tyler is doing, but fractionalized down to miners, not nodes.
Right. Yeah.
That's a pretty cool concept.
And so the idea would be, can we sell the opportunity for somebody to invest $100 and own a miner or own a fraction of the production of a miner? And so that's the real niche that we're going after, that people are going to have to diversify their income. So we need to keep fractionalizing these opportunities of income. And so when Amin hooked us up with the Hyperledger Foundation, Andrea, he saw us as a gold mine, considering the fact that we are currently going to produce, sorry to say this, guys, and I'll just give you the numbers. It's 1.5 a day. Times 365. So, and I'm telling you guys these numbers because I was shitting myself. And I hope that you guys can understand that, you know, every year there'll be a $250,000 being distributed by that, and the DAO will own about 20% of that. So there will be about $109 million coming back to the DAO per year once it's running in about 2 years from now.
Wow.
So what exactly? It's mind blowing. And this is why I'm fighting for the DAO to own 20% of it, at least. And so when I say that, look, there's pieces to the puzzle, but then there's back end infrastructure to the puzzle. And how it works is that we cannot get started with building things unless we own the land. We own the land, we tokenize the land. That means we get a PPA from the city of Butte. Right now we have a verbal, not a written. In order for us to get a written, we have to own the land. So who would have thought that Amin would have connected me? I literally was going through it one day. The next day I wake up and Amin says, look, I got you the meeting with Andrea. It's this day. I said, what? Let's go. We got on the call. We explained it to him. He said, I'll tell you how I told him. I said, look, this is a $1.8 billion project and we have financiers to take care of it, but we just need to take care of the initial 40 million to move forward. He said, oh, okay. Yes, let's set up another call. We'll go ahead and introduce you two guys and we'll get you involved with our solar tokenization project. Excuse me? He said, yeah, we're working with London to go ahead and tokenize all of these solar farms so that we can start bringing a brand new green revolution through XDC. Have you heard about them? So I laughed. I told him we're building on XDC, and he said, well, this is a fucking gold mine. Let's talk some more. I got to go pick up my daughter. Let's reschedule. So is it 100% for sure? I'm just telling you what I lived. But what I'm trying to illustrate here is that we have 2 more opportunities because 2 different people in the DAO have stepped up and said, we have investors ready to invest. 40 million we can cover. 300 million we can cover. But the project is 1.8 billion. And so when we're doing this, I want you guys to realize, like, that's why you see me moving the way I'm moving. It's not because I'm playing for a DAO. The DAO is playing for that type of money, and the DAO is going to get a portion of that. And if I can make sure that the DAO has the best team in the world, then anything that any of these issues or projects, I'm sorry, these projects may have any issues, guess what? It can be resolved like this by one of us. The entire team is better than all, because I got to tell you guys, these partners, one of them has built multiple solar farms. The other one has an equipment company that is in the stock exchange. And the other one owns 4,000 acres of land in California. So when I say that these partners might not be, a risk, is because of that. They're involved with bigger projects. This is just another project. And so I have to be honest about you guys about, I'm sorry. I have to be honest about all of this with you guys, because if I'm not, the moment that it comes down to, hey, do you guys want to make a decision on, do you want to be included or not? Then you'll understand why I'm giving you the opportunity to vote, because I've been working to achieve X or Y. Do you guys feel comfortable with what we're fighting for at the end of the day? I have 2 more things.
1000%.
The solar,
Definitely.
sorry?
Yes.
Thanks, Tyler. Sorry, I always talk up right above you. My fault.
Yeah, I think this is awesome. This is really, really awesome. There's 2 things I really love about this. It's the fact that nowadays energy, especially across the globe, is starting to become a little scarce. And the fact that we're backed by solar and wind, possibly, is a really good thing. And I love the fractionalization of everything, because that gives everybody an opportunity to put their foot in the door.
Oh, yes. And that's what's on the other side of the health gated community, or the hate gated DAO, is that once you're in, you'll be able to invest. You can invest in the people of the DAO, or you can invest in the new businesses that are coming out. And the reason I say that is, look, all of us can bring more value to the DAO if we're financially stable, right? It's just that simple. If all of us feel like under pressure, we can only deliver so much. And so this is why we have to feel like, okay, this is no longer just me playing by myself here, is we have to realize as a team, and this is one thing, we need to start proving this. And I'm sure that there's going to be an opportunity where one of you guys is going to speak up. And so the idea here is, how do we go ahead and take all of what we're doing to give people confidence that there's value inside of our treasury, so that in case they need a loan from Tyler's NFTs, they can get that, right? Because there has to be a vast amount of income so that at any one time, somebody can come in, get a loan, and go out. Let it pay itself off. We don't mind. But we never want to be in a situation where we're deficient in a bank account and nobody can get a loan. The idea with the 40 million, like I said, that's to move those projects forward. Everything else has been self-funded. And I would love to see if maybe we can start coming with a big master plan about where we want to go. I don't have a problem to keep doing things, but it is important that we all start to realize, like, what kind of responsibilities do we each want to bear? It's not about the cost. I just wonder, what kind of thing would you like to do for the DAO that maybe we haven't had a chance to hear you or get you involved? Is there anything that speaks to you guys?
Well, for me, for my part, I think I'd love to be building on it, like building for the DAO, connecting solutions for it, and the value proposition of all the things you've been mentioning, the insurance it gives to the projects that come into it, and people seeing the HealthBank DAO as a sign of approval, and you see a project that comes from it, and it's already KYC'd and audited, and the code is audited, so you are sure that you're basically safe, or at least as safe as you can be for everything. I think building there is a very safe bet, and as you said, it's a gold mine for every project you build into it.
Thank you, fam. It means a lot that you would think that way. And obviously, hearing you say that you want to definitely build for it, you know, that's what Clint and I were just talking about. Like, how do we inspire developers to basically elevate their game in the sense of, we're not just going to build code because we like building code, but we want to get healthy and make that a standard of our life as well. And so when I was presenting to Andrea, it was more about telling him, look, man, we kind of look at this as a LinkedIn process, like an interview process for developers. Like, you can go ahead and come into this DAO, help build it, but you must at least be healthy and then develop. And we hope that one day when a developer comes out of HealthBank DAO is because like they went through what is necessarily a different structure of building, because we are doing it for the people as opposed to building for the, as you would say, protocols. You know, because most people, when they build for the protocol, is like, how do I create a protocol that locks up liquidity and lets people grow their value? We're growing people. You know, it's grow people, not value right here. And the value comes from the people. So if we can help the people grow, how do we do that? We turn everybody into anyone that can go ahead and code their own dreams or become their own bank, right? Just find a way to make passive income so that way you can go ahead and feed yourself off of your investments. That's it. Become your own bank, feed yourself off investments. And so as we keep going with this thing, obviously someone like Freddy is proving the point, you know, that he wants to go ahead and raise his game. By the way, he just had eye surgery. So if you guys can see those shiny eyes, that's probably why. It's all about that, you know, that like we all have different health issues. Right now, his health issue is, how do I not stare at a screen forever? You know, that might cause some discomfort. But I promise you this, if you take Tyler's Ormus, your cells will regenerate a lot faster. Sorry, is that a good infomercial?
You sold it to me.
I will say that this is a game changer. You definitely, if you don't have any of Tyler's Ormus, you need to go grab some.
Right here, again and again and again. And I will keep telling you guys, this is the go-go juice that I keep talking about, go-go juice. And so it's about health. And we all agree in this group about one thing. Yes, the go-go powder. And so you see, all of us truly believe that there's go-go power behind that. And what that means is that when your molecules are not deficient in magnesium, anything is possible. And I have a feeling Jeremy just grabbed his. Did you grab yours?
Yeah, since we're flexing.
Oh,
you know, that's power if I ever seen it, man.
Yeah.
And it's just reiteration of the most obvious. Molecule of motion will keep your life going. And so with you guys learning a little bit more about, okay, well, what is our perception of health? Guess what? Our perception of health starts with an electrical body. An electrical body needs to have a coil that's constantly regenerating its energy. And that's called your cerebrospinal fluid, and that's called your spine. If you don't move, your spine starts to become stagnant. The fluid sits at the base. And if it doesn't reach the brain, then you become docile, or you become AKA depressed, or you become bored, or you become silly. Whatever you want to call it, you don't become creative. Creative means you are a creator. A creator means you're going on to Web3 to create. And that's what we want for people to do. That if we can inspire them that like, yo, I do have a dream. Yo, I do want to become my own bank. How do I get there? That's the lessons that Harley has created. Lessons that can get you from zero to a starting point and making some money on the blockchain. But we need all of you guys to create this type of education and have it on your own website. What this means is that you guys need to think local and international. If you think local, it's your own website. If you think international, it's a business, right? They're both the same. You could do a DBA for your personal, but your personal should be something that illustrates your passions, your engagement groups, what people could go ahead and get out from working, you know, from learning from you. But your business, it's the service that you want to bring to the world that can revolutionize what you're doing or how you see the world. And ideally, you open yourself up to two different markets, the international, the local, and then you decide which one do you want to be a role model in? Do you want to be a role model in the local? Great. Do you want to be a student in the international? Great. Do you want to be a leader in the international? Great. Do you want to be a student at the local? Great. Go lead somebody that's, let's say Philippines, but go to school down the street. It's not hard, but it's just, it wasn't available before, but now it is. And so because now it's possible, how do we go ahead and get people these type of NFTs? Well, when people go through the challenge, they're going to receive either a bronze NFT, a silver NFT, or a gold NFT. This is going to give them what is called dividends off our masternodes. And so that's the whole point that we're trying to go ahead and do here. One of our business partners has 40% of the masternode already going towards us. So we have tokens that we can go ahead and use to redistribute value to those that are able to go ahead and get, let's say, a bronze, a silver, a gold NFT. And those same NFTs can be brought back to the ecosystem to get a loan. So there'll be a point where, let's say Clint goes through the challenge, gets a gold NFT, he's earning 3 XDC every month. And let's say that at the time it's $30, he wants to get a loan, fine, 70%, we'll give it to him. We're just using simple numbers. The idea being, we don't need to let people out of the ecosystem to start obtaining the collateralized assets that they're looking for to get loans. That's the most important thing. Their participation will do it. If they have extra XDC, they could do it. One of the things I keep trying to lead to is these collections here are so inspiring that, Freddie, I'm telling you right now, and Clint and I have been discussing it, you and I have a big responsibility to create an NFT marketplace that has a function that allows for the input of a deposit address or a refill address, which means that Tyler can go ahead and give us the address from where the masternode is operating. We will have an agreement, a contract between the ability to claim and distribute, because that in itself will give us access to then leverage that the value of that into the NFT collection that is made, right? Because it'll be first, it has to be given permission by the node, and then it has to be redistributed by the marketplace to the NFT holders. Does that kind of make sense? How the NFT marketplace would be the redistribution agent?
Yes. Yeah. So it would be the marketplace that manages the rewards, right?
Exactly. Basically, all these different projects or creators that make a deal with the marketplace to say, hey, look, I have an asset that produces. Hey, look, I have a collection that I want to launch. Well, guess what? Any collection launched on the platform that has an asset given it value, that collection itself will acquire the value when it's claimed. And so the creator has the ability to set frequency of claiming. Right. And so it makes it to the point. Does that make more sense, Tyler?
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that'd be so convenient because, like, and the way XDC works, it sounds like that would be the easier route too, because they have a way better time tracking tokens than I can. Like, I cannot find hardly shit on the Explorer. Like, you can't do shit. Like, I cannot audit that way. I have to audit through their website. So, from my perspective, it seems like a way better approach, at least for that model. If there's a better way to do NFTs, then find that instead. But
and you know, that's the goal here, that we're not going to be doing the traditional method. We have to revolutionize what has been provided. And then we have to solve the logic of the issue, which is, hey, look, there does need to be a third party. The third party should be a DAO, and the DAO should never be one person in control of the money. And if that's the case, then the marketplace, which is created under the DAO the DAO contract, right? The DAO would be the beneficiary if somebody were to go ahead and not pay their token or their loans, right? Or if somebody were to go ahead and rob it, the beneficiary would be the DAO once again. Multi-signature wallet still protects it. There's a layer of protection in many ways. But this has been the way that we've solved the anti-rug and the distribution issue so far. Does that kind of give you guys more clarity?
Makes a ton of sense.
Really happy to hear that from you guys. I know we may seem like we're slow, but we're building every day so that we can understand what are these ecosystems providing us as a service, as a template or skeleton. What do we need to go find? And how do we integrate it all so that way it can be a simple to use DApp that goes from here to here without losing user experience.
Right.
And as we introduce new businesses into the ecosystem, I think, what does this say? Loans that pay themselves back, right? Yeah, the production value, always the cap is going to be 70%. So we have some kind of thing, instead of having to do I get where you're going with it, which is like, if you want 1, you got to give me 1.5. That's just basically what we're doing there.
Yeah.
And then just to give you guys a heads up, see this thing here, stake your health. Just as an FYI, we're going to go with the most proven, trusted protocol that has been created so far for a DAO. Can anybody guess what it is? What's that?
Is it time?
You're not going with time. That's rigged. That's exactly. It's another one, right? But does that kind of make sense? How we're going to go ahead and basically fork that protocol. We're going to go ahead and using that contract as a base for Treasury with the buyback protocol as well. Because you have two things. You have the Treasury and you have the buyback protocol. But those are not enough because you have to add the marketplace instead of the bonding system. Right? Because basically the marketplace is meant to replace the bonding system. There is no need for bonds when there's collateralized assets. Right. So you're taking the best of Wonderland and you're adding it into the own protocol. And then you're adding a launch pad on top of that with anti-rug policies. I don't want to say that it's only the fork because it's not going to be. That's why we have Freddy and Clint here to make sure that we take what's needed. We work with the files to integrate things seamlessly so that it has the fluidity of those protocols, because this is the whole point of becoming an open source technology. That's the why we're working with Hyperledger. We are to become an open source protocol so that people can say DEX, KYC, dashboard, DeFi ecosystem based upon the idea of health. Does that give you guys a better idea of user flow in the sense of open source templates that are being created so that maybe you guys can create your own thing, whatever it may be, but you'll have your protocol that controls the gate. You could set the scale, whether it's 80%, 60%, 90%, that determines the vending. Then you have the second thing, which is your onboarding experience. You can call it your kit, which would be basically your DEX and your marketplace. And this is basically how users would be able to acquire value or interact with your marketplace. And the marketplace itself being a place where you can go ahead and attach asset value or distribution value. All in all, it's supposed to be an open source technology so that individuals can at least guarantee that health or any value that they choose to quantify into a contract could be done. Do you guys currently see any issues or any kind of gaps that we maybe not be addressing yet, or anything that we can improve on to help make sure that this message continues to get across more efficiently? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think that video just explains it very well.
Yeah, solid. It's solid so far. I try to pick it out to find ways that can improve, but you hit the nail on the head with that one.
That's you guys. You guys have fed me the information for the past few months, and really your patience with all of this. I know Clint spends every night working to make this happen, because I personally, like I said, I didn't know anything, but we've learned a lot. And thanks to you guys, we've been able to network into some really good ecosystems. And obviously what you guys are doing is of substantial value on its own. And so for me, it's just, I want to represent you guys properly. And if I can do that in the best of my abilities, and that's why I always, like I said, we have to move the shit forward, let's say for a month, and then reconnect, move the shit forward. And until we can say, hey, look, meetings are being held by Jeremy every Tuesday, first week of the month, or maybe meetings are being held by Harley on the second week on this, and we give the public a schedule, you know, that would make it so that to the public, there's more frequency. Internally, you guys can always catch me in that Telegram. I'm trying to read as much as I can. Obviously, I apologize if I don't joke around as much as I possibly should. Me and Clint are usually pulling our hairs out, drinking coffee and pulling our hairs out. But obviously, Freddy, you're more than welcome to join us at the party. Anybody else who wants to code with us, please. I know I need to make sure I do a better job of dropping the link in there, and I will this week coming up. That is my personal goal, that every time I send it to link, I send it to you guys in the chat group. If you want to join us for a meeting and just start coding with us, grab some coffee, grab your laptop, let's get after it. The idea would be simply that I can't really continue to do what we've been doing and scaling at the same time in the right manner. And I think that's one of the things I really, really want to make sure I acknowledge Tyler on, that he's been able to fully break down every step of his process and onboard all his people as best as possible to make sure that they're being heard. And we don't want to be sheep that are being heard. We want to be people that are being heard. I want to be able to have somebody say something and somebody hears that and it can be worked upon. And so does anybody have any kind of suggestions on how we could improve other than the system that we have, where people come into the DAO because they stand out, and then by any of you guys, and then they go to Tyler's group where they can have constant engagement? Does that work for you guys so far?
Yeah.
My goal would be that nobody gets kind of like ignored. And so if somebody comes in because they believe in like what we're doing, thanks to all of you guys advertising and pushing it, like if they hear about us, they go to the Telegram and they somehow say something that all of us are just like, you know, you guys bring it up to my attention like Lucas was, yo, I have this value. I need to make sure you guys hear it. I love that. I will never say no to that, because it's someone like Clint. When I needed him the most, guys, I didn't know shit about development, and I was shitting bricks because I said, okay, we're going to go into this. And Clint heard my message and he goes, I'll stay up every night with you and we'll code it out together. I honestly can't thank him, you know, and to be able to say that I've been able to financially help him out to the point, no. And actually, like, if you guys want Clint to help, I would like to ask you guys, would you guys feel comfortable with also helping him?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I keep pulling him away, but I know that, and I hate to say this, Clint, I know you said you had a message for them. Would you want to take a second to kind of speak to the gang?
Yeah, no, certainly. Yeah, it's, you know, I've spoken to Johnny, and he's made me realize that you need, if you basically sitting with self, and you have to remove self if you need help, basically. And it really struck me. And I need help. So I need to remove self from myself, basically, and then build up the courage to ask the members of the DAO. So I've made some questionable decisions in my past that is haunting me till this day. And yeah, and I mean, I have the skills and the knowledge and the know-how, but right now I'm severely financially trapped, and I'm